Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling, the last episode before the all-out pay-per-view for AEW. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a big one, of course. We want to have a good show. Give us some momentum heading into the pay-per-view, obviously. We are so close to moving up to the next size. We just need to get 77 popularity across the board. We're at 76. We're so close. So we're desperate to get there. But we really need to ramp it up and have probably, I would say, 8 really good shows in a row. If we can have 8 great shows in a row, we'll get there. We've been a little bit up and down as of late. We haven't been great. We haven't been perfect. Our Rampages have slipped away a little bit. So the pressure is on. Now, a couple of good pieces of news for us. Malachi Black is back. So we can have the House of Black back, and that's only going to help big time. Malachi, I thought was decent without being great. He has been solid. He hasn't been the brilliant, wrestler of the year sort of contender that perhaps we may have thought when we originally got him. Instead, he's been up there. He has been pretty good, performing around 70 to 75. Had a match for MJF. He performed at 78 in that one recently. So it's been okay. It's been decent. You can't complain with those sort of results. His best match was 84 against Nick Jackson. He performed at 77 in that match. So the numbers are there to suggest that there is some hope. Now, we haven't exactly booked him super strong. 7 wins, 7 losses. Now, of course, we did job him out a little bit towards the end when we knew that the House of Black were probably maybe leaving AEW. That was the rumor. Of course, that's no longer the truth. They are back. So he lost 4 matches in a row there. So that doesn't help his win-loss at all. But he is now back. We don't have Buddy. Actually, I think we do have Buddy Matthews. I think he is back as well. I'm sure he is. So that's the other guy that we have to kind of think about. So that's good news. We've got pretty much the whole gang back together. So we'll see how it kind of plays out. But look, at this point, the House of Black is an important part of our roster because we do need more trios. Our stables, we have a lot of them, but none of them are really all that great. There's a few weaknesses there, and that's certainly in the trios division. It's not easy to have a good amount of trios. And you can see our main event level trios. We've got the Elite, the Pinnacle, the Blackpool Combat Club, and then the House of Black is right there in the upper mid-card sort of section. Now, they are baby faces at the moment. I feel like the money in them, of course, is them being heels. Darby Allin was a part of the group. I think we're going to take him out of the group, have Darby go on his own as a solo. Maybe connecting with Sting in our game. I think that might be a good way. I'd like to use Sting more, and I feel like he and Darby have been a great team. I think it'd be cool to see that in our game a little bit. We know Sting potentially could be retiring this year, so we may want to try and get him some more matches before we have to retire him in our game as well. So that might be a good way to kind of get him more involved. But yeah, so we do lack the baby faces in the trios division, certainly in the upper tier. So whilst on one hand it'd be great to turn the House of Black, it may not be great for the balance of the trios division. I guess one team that maybe should turn, maybe Death Triangle, I think could be a good idea, fresh kind of paint for them. Certainly something to think about. But yeah, great to have the House of Black back here in the company. So we'll probably start using them after All Out and return them after them. Tony Nese, his contract is up. We will renew it. We're going to keep Tony. The other piece of news as well this week was Frankie Kazarian has left AEW in real life. So we'll probably have him leave us as well. He was already, not doing a lot, being basically losing to most people. So we'll start jobbing him out and we'll have him go pretty soon as well. But other than that, of course, as we said last episode before All Out, the show was all booked. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. I feel like this is going to be a good one. On the pre-show, Santana Garrett gets a match and an opportunity against Serena Deeb. 45 rated match, Serena 46. Garrett was decent, 34 as well. Wanted to give Serena a win. Same with Thunder Rosa. We're giving her a win over Danny Jordan. 49 for the match. And Thunder Rosa 57. Pretty solid. Last pre-show match, Brody King, 62 rated match with Cesar Bononi. 62 match, Brody King, 67 performance. Solid stuff from Brody. We open up the main show. Danielson calls out Miro. He wants to fight Miro right here, right now. Anderson says no. They're going to wait until the all-out pay-per-view. So Miro is 100% ready to go for their match. 94 rated segment, solid stuff, improving the storyline. Exactly what we needed. Lance Archer and Swerve Strickland went one-on-one for 75. That's pretty good. Lance Archer 68, perhaps a little lower for his standards. Swerve has been good, 70. Now Swerve in real life has got this Moguls affiliate group. I think that's what it's called. Look, I've tried my best to forget that it exists because I feel like it's awful. I really don't think that's going to go well. But Swerve as a heel is money. There's definitely something there. At the moment, he and Keith Lee in our game aren't really doing a lot. They're kind of really loosely affiliated. And if anything, it's kind of holding Swerve back because he just pretty much loses to whoever's feuding with Keith Lee, which is exactly what happened here because Lance Archer beat him here. Jake Roberts interfered, allowed him to pick up the win. So it hasn't gone so well for Swerve. I don't think the Mogul affiliate is the answer, but maybe a heel turn and doing something different might be what he needs, because I am thinking about turning Ricky Starks babyface, so maybe we could turn Swerve Strickland heel to replace Ricky Starks in that sort of upper mid-card role. Chris Jericho tries to have the stipulation change with his match against Darby Allin, but Sting refuses. Jericho, of course, is furious. So we're involving Sting more with Darby Allin with this Jericho feud here. And the ultimate, payoff could be Sting versing Jericho in some capacity, maybe teaming up with Darby Allin. So we just need to have Jericho find a partner. And in our game, there is no Jericho Appreciation Society. We haven't formed that, so Jericho is at the moment on his own. So, and we fired Jake Hager, so we don't even have him as an option. So we'd have to give Jericho a tag team partner of some capacity. But yeah, their match of the pay-per-view will be a casket match, or a coffin match. Proud and Powerful defeated the Men of the Year for 66. Solid match, one to give the Proud and Powerful team a win heading into their tag title match with FTR. And MJF comes out after the match and says he will make sure the Proud and Powerful do not win the tag team titles. 82 for that one. So MJF still playing that sort of cheerleader role as of late for the Pinnacle. 82. Now that also the big news is that FTR, there's a pretty good chance that they're not going to renew their contract. They may be leaving AEW. So the Pinnacle, it may be done very soon for us. We're going to lose our tag team champions, the team that we just built up and got the win there. It's almost disastrous for us. Honestly, it's not good. So we have to kind of maybe rethink about our strategy here. Do we really go all in on FTR and the Pinnacle, or do we maybe start to have a few cracks form and do the breakup before it's too late? Because at this stage, FTR's, their contracts expire in April in real life, and I don't think they're going to renew. So, yeah. Samoa Joe, Christian Cage go face to face in the middle of the ring. Everybody else is gone and banned from ringside. These two just face to face on their own, hashing out their grievances with one another in the middle of the ring, and it was great. 94, fantastic way to build up this feud. This has been a long-running feud, and I've really enjoyed it so far. I think this has been a solid back and forth, a great way to kind of get Samoa Joe in the right path, because I feel like when he first came in, he had the big match with Cody, had the big match with Kenny, and he just bombed. It just didn't live up to expectation. But over the last little bit with his feud with Christian, I feel like he's starting to really get better and his work is improving. Things are looking up. So Joe is definitely turning into a much better performer than what he once was, at least for us. Taz confronts Ricky Starks after William Regal's comments last week and questions Ricky Starks' loyalty. So William Regal last week on Dark said, hey Ricky, you got a big future. But I think you need to maybe move away from Team Taz and try something different and, go on your own. You don't need them. And Taz is saying, hey, Ricky, what's the deal? What's going on? Are you with us? Are you against us? Ricky Starks says, yeah, look, I'm with you, blah, blah, blah. I'm still Team Taz all the way. 61 for that one. BCC, they've got a promo. They cut one on Death Triangle for 82. We're going to have Moxley versus Ray Phoenix in our main event later on. That should be good. We've got a video to hype up Saraya, so a bit of a training video for her, getting herself ready for the match, 51. Of course, she'll be taking on Jade at the pay-per-view. Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander had another match. Last time they had a match, Jamie Hayter picked up the win. This time, Statlander gets her win back, 62 for this one. So we are building towards Statlander versus Superbad. I don't know what the match exactly will be. Is it going to be Statlander and Ali, Statlander and Penelope Ford? But nonetheless, we are building towards one of those combinations. Post-match, a 3-on-1 attack. Statlander gets beaten down by Superbad, 44. So Statlander's gimmick is also getting stale, so we need to fix that. Yeah, probably, the whole alien thing. Yeah, I can see that getting stale. Keith Lee says he's ready for Lance Archer. He'll be ready to defend that title at the pay-per-view, 71 for that one. Keith Lee couldn't do a non-scripted promo very well. That does not surprise me, 71 for that one. Best Friends took on Team Taz. Surprisingly, we haven't done this match yet. Trios match for this one. Orange Cassidy pinned Josh Woods in this match. So Team Taz took the loss. Best Friends grabbed the win. Post-match, Team Taz argue over the loss and they seemingly blame Ricky Starks for the loss. 58 for that one. Still planting the seeds that maybe Ricky Starks is going to leave Team Taz. You know, Team Taz is starting to blame Ricky Starks. Well, he's going to get fed up and just say, you know what, screw this. I don't need you guys. I'm better than this, and move on. So I think he's nearly at that breaking point. Main event, and boy, it did deliver. It was John Moxley, taking on Ray Phoenix. 85 rated match. Park tried to interfere to help Phoenix win. It didn't work. Moxley still too good. Death Rider, 1, 2, 3. Game over. So Moxley scores a huge win and a big confidence boost for the Blackpool Combat Club heading into their upcoming championship defense against Death Triangle at the pay-per-view. Great match. Really, really good. And as we said, we needed to have a strong show. Let's hope that match was good enough to carry it. It was an 82 rated show, so that is a good result. Alright, post results for Dynamite. 1.5 TV rating, 11,000 in attendance for the TV show. What we're doing with the tickets as well is we are going to sell the TV show tickets at a very cheap, so we have a bigger attendance at the shows. So their expectations will drop a little bit. Our ticket revenue will perhaps drop a touch. I'm not too worried about that though, because our broadcasting revenue has been strong. Pay-per-view revenue is still there, especially with this month. We're going to have the full pay-per-view all out, so we're going to have potentially 600,000 in pay-per-view revenue coming in. So I'm not too worried about losing some of our ticket sales. But also, our finance has been strong. But what we will get is more tickets sold, bigger crowds, and hopefully a chance to improve our popularity a little bit quicker by getting more people attending. So that's the strategy there. Now, big news is that Sasha Banks, she has left the WWE, so we decided to let her contract expire. She's gone. So Sasha leaves the WWE. She had 13 wins, 16 losses, so not exactly brilliant. Her best match was 90 rated with Bayley. Sasha performed at 88 in that match. So she is performing at a very, very high level. So no surprise. I can see already that she had like 5 matches with Bayley at least. Let's have a look. She had 9 matches with Bayley in some capacity throughout the year. My goodness, that is some repetitive booking. So yeah, Sasha gets a chance to try something different, go somewhere else. She started the year for 73 pop. That's dropped, so she hasn't been booked all that well. I would love to sign her. I really, really would. $58,000 a month. That would probably have to go up to 65, I think, to secure her. But we'll have to wait and see if she does join AEW in real life. At the moment, she hasn't, as of the time of recording this. Jeff Hardy and Adam Page both won out of developmental. That's the other thing we talked about. You know, we need better quality shows. Well, we do have Adam Page pretty much available for us, and he's just kind of sitting in Ring of Honor in purgatory, if you will. We did that because we wanted to try and improve Ring of Honor. We wanted to have the quality of Ring of Honor improve. But, you know, the Hardys, on the other hand, it's more of a demotion because they have been terrible. So they haven't really deserved to be a part of the main show. But he's not getting used. The Hardys, you know, he hasn't had any matches in Ring of Honor that we haven't booked. So maybe a waste of time having them there. I don't know. And lastly, Michael Nakazawa, his contract is up. Well, as much as I would love just to get rid of him, I don't think that's a realistic thing because I'm sure Kenny Omega would make sure that his boy Michael Nakazawa is not going anywhere. So, yeah, I don't know. And last piece of news, house shows. Now, there's some rumors that AEW are looking to do some house shows in real life, so we're going to jump the queue on that. And we might do maybe 2-3 house shows a month, something like that. We did one this month. We had it in Hawaii. And we did a couple last month as well. So we are kind of testing the waters a little bit, seeing how effective it is. It's not a big money generator. You know, 4,000 in ticket sales is really nothing. So not really worth doing in terms of ticket sales. There's no money to be had. So yeah, well, I mean, currently our, in terms of ticket prices, we have it at very cheap. So maybe we need to do it at more like a premium or a normal just to try and, you know, get some sort of revenue out of it. But to be fair, we have been touring to some of our weaker regions. For example, Hawaii, 61 pop. If we did a house show in like maybe New England, it might get a few thousand attend. Who knows? Well, just on that note of the Hardys not being used in Ring of Honor, well, they actually had a match. They took on the Kings of Wrestling in the main event of Ring of Honor's show. Claudio, 78, Chris Hero, 53, Jeff Hardy, 55, Matt Hardy, 46. That is why they are not on TV. That was not great. But in terms of Ring of Honor, it's going okay. 0.38 TV rating, 291,000 viewers on TNT. But on our streaming service, AEW Plus, 296,000, Honor Club, 50,000. So there is some money to be made there. You know, the Ring of Honor is, you know, getting some viewership on our subscription services, which is great. Our international audience is certainly contributing to helping Ring of Honor grow. Now, reason why I want to touch on this is that Big Damo is the new TV champion. So we have a new champion here in Ring of Honor. He scores the win in a 4-way match. Agogo was in it. Obviously, Big Damo, Jake Atlas, and Rhett Titus all a part of that as well. So yeah, new champion. Adam Page had a promo on the show for 73, 52 rated edition of Ring of Honor. I don't think our injection of talent has really helped Ring of Honor all that much, but I'm sure the damage would be even higher if they weren't there. This week's AEW Dark, we've got Orange Cassidy questioning the loyalty of Taz to Ricky Starks. Tony Nese ends up stepping up to challenge Orange Cassidy to a match later on in the show. 73 for this segment, helping the storyline out. So yeah, we're going to have Orange Cassidy probably, you know, just be the trigger, I feel, for Team Taz maybe to employ, at least for the Ricky Starks side of things. Frankie Kazarian loses to Max Caster for 50. You know what's coming here. Frankie's going to start to lose. I think it's time to turn the Acclaimed babyface as well. I think they're so popular in real life, and I really love them as babyfaces in real life. I forgot that they were still heels in our game. I think we've got to turn them. We've got to give them a fresh start. We've really got to get them up the card. It's the fact that they're still lower mid-card is infuriating. We've got to get them a push. So we are committing right now. We will get the Acclaimed over in our game ASAP. We're going to start with a Kazarian loss to Caster. Anna Jay defeats Red Velvet, 58 rated match there. Eye candy, but still good. Anna Jay, 61, Velvet, 46. Renee Paquette interviews Saraya and Jade ahead of their upcoming championship match, 66 for that one. It's a good, solid interview here. Both Saraya and Jade doing a decent job. Superbad promise that the worst is yet to come for Statlander, 47 for that one. This promo dragged down a little bit because we had Jamie Hayter involved in it as well, but I want to try and push Jamie Hayter. I like her. I think she's got a lot of potential. doing great as a women's champion in real life so far. We've got to get her up there as well. So we're trying here, getting her more involved in a lot of the different promos to try and boost her popularity. Orange Cassidy, Tony Nese, 69 rated match. Orange Cassidy 68, Tony Nese 58. Solid stuff there. In the end, Ricky Starks tried to help Tony Nese win, so we think, but he ended up accidentally hitting Tony Nese, costing him the match. So Ricky Starks could do the turn here, but we're not ready yet. We're going to do the turn a little bit later. So, yeah, you could question it. Taz is absolutely furious with Starks. He's yelling at him in the backstage locker room. How dare you? You know, are you with us? Are you against us? That sort of deal. 61 for that segment. Kyle O'Reilly had a match with Griff Garrison for 67. Just wanted to get Kyle O'Reilly a match. Just wanted to get him involved, get him a win. And that did the job. Solid match there. Divinity, they've cut a promo on Thunderstorm for 45. Sammy Guevara, the king of AEW Dark, is back again. Has a 74 rated match with Angelico. Guevara 89, Angelico 57. In the match, Dante Martin distracted Angelico as well, just to advance that storyline between Top Flight and the Butcher Blade and Angelico. So 74 for the match gives us 69 rather rated edition of Dark, and Tony Nese was overused. So we're going to cut back on the Tony Nese of the show. I don't think that'll be a problem in the future. I think we'll be able to accomplish that pretty comfortably. On to this week's edition of Rampage. We've got the team of Jurassic Express and Samoa Joe. They'll take on the Butcher Blade and Angelico, 74 rated for this trios match. In the match, we had Matt Sydal interfering to cost the Butcher and Blade their match, advancing that storyline. So yeah, solid stuff in the end there. Good way to kind of continue to build the trios division and also to give Team Joe a win as well, giving them momentum. We've got a hype video for Bandito for 46. Chris Jericho says that he will make sure Sting loses his job due to the bias of Darby Allin, towards Darby Allin. 86 for that one. Yeah, so, you know, Jericho believes that because Sting wouldn't change the stipulation that there's bias towards Darby, and Jericho says he's going to use his power, his stroke, to make sure that Sting is out of a job very, very soon. So we are planting the seeds, we are sort of building towards Sting and maybe Darby teaming to take on Jericho. That's obviously the plan, but at least introducing Sting into this storyline in the ring. Big Bill destroys John Silver in a few minutes for 43. Miro prays to his God and promises to bring him a championship. So he's praying to his God and says, look, hey, I failed you last time. I got injured. This time it's going to change. I'm bringing you a championship. So 89 for that one. Yeah, Miro's promos have certainly improved. I feel like Miro is now at that level, you know, where he's a big deal in our company. He's a main event level guy. I think he's a made man. I think he's good. In real life, he's not, but I think in our game, we've got him to the point where, you know, he's right there. I feel if it was a different sort of circumstance, giving Miro the belt wouldn't be a bad thing, but we really need Danielson just to be the workhorse and carry us to the ratings that we need to build the company to the next level. We are so close, so giving Miro that responsibility would probably be a major risk that I'm not really worth taking at this stage. Juice Robinson hype video for 52. So we're not trying to do a cold debut with these guys. We're trying to give the audience some background knowledge. Who are these guys? What have they done in their careers? Why are they here? That sort of deal. Keith Lee had an 81 rated match with Shawn Spears. Very good from Keith Lee. Huge carry job from him, and this is why he's the TNT champion. He's been excellent. So a big win for him just to give him some momentum heading towards his TNT title defense against Lance Archer. And our main event was the Lucha Bros, the Top Flight team of Dante and Darius Martin. 79 for this match. That's really good. In the end, well, Top Flight, Matt Sydal cost Butcher Blade their match earlier on, so they had a receipt coming for them. The Butcher gets himself involved here and costs Top Flight their match. So we are sort of building those storylines. We are sort of cheesing it a little bit, aren't we? We're using like top main event guys to build a really super lower card storyline. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So yeah, 79 for this one. Good solid match. Lucha Bros grab a win to give him momentum heading into the pay-per-view. And we did it. We had a decent Rampage 79 rated show. Alright, post results for Rampage. And Dante Martin. And post results for Rampage. Just quickly, Darius Martin wants a pay rise. Yeah, I think he's probably earned it, to be honest. So we'll give him one. But the ratings, let's have a quick, actually, before we get to the ratings, Ken Anderson says, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to retire from the in-ring competition. We haven't used Ken in any wrestling capacity yet. His popularity is going up and up and up thanks to his association with Miro. Maybe it's time to give him one last match here in AEW before he does retire. 1.4 million viewers on Rampage in total, 957,000 on TV, which is ridiculous, isn't it? The other thing, Kip Sabian is gone, so we let him go. Kind of forgot that we were going to do that, but yeah, we don't need him, so goodbye, Kip. And we still haven't renewed Michael Nakazawa yet. I don't know if we will. We'll figure. We'll decide, won't we? But that's it, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of the shows before the All Out pay-per-view. The storylines before we are there. Jericho Darby at 83. The Coalition and Joe at 76. That's pretty good. Divinity and Thunderstorm 57. Flying High. This is what we talked about. Cheesing this storyline. 79 rated for the storyline here between Dante, Darius Martin, and Matt Sydal, and the Butcher Blade and Angelico. They are going to have a hell of a match. I don't know if it's going to be on the pay-per-view, but they will definitely tear it up, surely. It's the same as FTR and Proud and Powerful, 79. And that says it all. Jade Saraya, 63. Keith Lee and Archer, 75. Danielson and Miro, the big one, 89. That is really good. Statlander Superbad, 64. Team Taz and Orange... Team Taz and Best Friends, 66. And the Trios is 81. Lots of storylines around the 80 mark. Only one really delivering. That's Miro and Danielson, which is the one we need to, obviously. But Jericho and Darby is looking really good too. So I'm hopeful that All Out is still going to be strong. In terms of the big guns, when are they back? CM Punk, he's not back for a while. He's still out at the moment. He's still on vacation. 22 days to go. So the end of September, we'll have Punk, Omega, and the Young Bucks back. We badly need them back. But we do have the House of Black. They'll be getting back in the mix. Adam Cole's not doing a lot, so we can get him back in the mix. We've also got Roosh as well. He's joined us. We need to debut him. We're going to debut Bandito. And we've got to debut Juice Robinson. So we have a lot of guys. We've got to chuck here in the mix. Which, again, our roster's already huge. How the hell do we push all these guys? You probably can't. But we'll give it our absolute best effort. Max Caster, by the way, scored a win over Frank Gazera, and his popularity went up by 4. Now, Max Caster is in the 40s. That means he's out of the 30s. The hell that the 30s and under give me is unbelievable in this game. But now, once you get into the 40s, it becomes a lot easier. You're not absolutely useless. You can actually have a decent match. You don't get penalized for everything you do. Caster is there. We got to get Bowens there, and then the Acclaimed is out of purgatory. We can finally start pushing them. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, All Out is next. Thank you so much for continuing to watch the series. If you have been enjoying it, please leave a like on it. Subscribe if you haven't already to see more. All Out coming away very soon. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.